I'm also reading a book, I may have mentioned this before, called The Woman Composer. The musical establishment would say the symphony is too cerebral, too big for a woman to really get to grips with mentally. Her role should be with the smaller stuff, the more domestic, like the piano playing and the song. And, it really made me think there is that big tradition throughout classical music of what is and what is not acceptable for certain people to write. So, one question I would love to ask her is, what would you say to a man who's thinking of writing a symphony? Is there a sense in which that man is reinforcing that tradition and reinforcing the difficulties that this causes women, undoubtedly has done? I don't know. It's just another one of those thoughts. I suppose the main the thought connecting those two thoughts is just context, isn't it? It's being more aware of the context of what I'm doing. That everything we do is, I suppose everything we do is political in a sense. Everything we do is relational. It's related to other people. There's a societal level on which one does everything. And with a specific thing like writing a symphony, I think I'm just becoming more and more aware of that.
That was going to be my question. Is this something you've always had going on in your mind, or is it writing the symphony that has brought up these thoughts? But it sounds like it's latter more than the former.
I suppose I've had some awareness of it, but not strongly, really. I mean, I've been quite strongly aware of those issues for a number of years. And a number of years ago, I took programs from the four main permanent London orchestras, and I just analysed how much music they played by women. It was frighteningly small. I mean, what I had expected was that they wouldn't be playing much music by women that was written a long time ago, because there wasn't a whole lot relative to that of men. I mean, there are other issues around that very statement, but that is true for various reasons. There just wasn't a lot. But I thought, well, when we get into the 20th century and the 21st century, it's going to be different. There's going to be parity. No way. Absolutely no way. Just about every new or recent composition that they were playing was by a man still. And I thought, whoa. Now that has changed, or is changing, should I say, over a relatively small number of years. That has changed, a moderate amount. But anyway, the point was that, I've been aware of this sort of stuff for a number of years now. But then it's the coming home of thinking how this applies to me personally, rather than the way I thought of it before was, this is an injustice. This is a wrong that needs righting. The little I can do to help get music by women played, I will do, and that's in some way helping to right a wrong. But the personal aspect hadn't really occurred to me at all. A few years ago, probably, I would guess less than 10, but I'm not certain, the last night of the proms is a big deal in musical circles, especially in London. Marin Alsop, American conductor, conducted the last night of the proms. And at the last night, right at the end, the conductor always turns to the audience and gives a little speech just before the last hurrah. And in her little speech, she said I don't know, let's say it was 2014. I don't remember. It's 2014. This is apparently the first time a woman has conducted this. I can't believe that, just extraordinary. You're very right to point out the male saviour thing, because that's one of the reactions a man can have to this situation is, that ain't right. I'm going to sort it out. Which is, okay, it's sort of good-natured, but it's not the way things... I mean, in fact, my first reaction now is that I just need to shut up. and listen. Just stop saying that I know all about this and I know what the problem is and I know how to solve it. Well, I wouldn't say that anyway because I don't. But as in many situations where there's oppression or something of the kind, my feeling is that the oppressor first just needs, let's just listen to you. Just tell me your stories, and then maybe we can have a dialogue at a later point. But so yes, and sort of knowing those things and being aware of that, so it makes me feel slightly uncomfortable, which is maybe that's a good thing. I don't know, and I don't know if it makes any difference immediately to what I'm doing. But that's why I would actually, in a way, like to ask somebody like this woman what she thinks are the best things for people like me to do. If there are ways in which we can be more or less helpful